because I blew it in second period bad. So volume is always cubed, whereas surface area is always squared. So when we get to our measurements, remember area is squared. Haley is coming around offering pencils. Don't take the white or the black ones. They won't help you much with colors that you're trying to. The colors will help us determine some of that in there.
How many do we take?
Just one.
Just one cat.
Just one.
You sharpening them in.
So here I've got a figure.
Wait.
Now, there are a couple of formulas, and I'll come back to this one, but I found that people are confused by this one. So I'm going to show you the net method, and I will tell you can use the others. So first we're going to talk about what this is. You can see I've got a rectangular prism. This is the net for that, means I deconstructed it. By the way, guys, great present ideal. You can't afford much. You buy her big bag of M&Ms. In a piece of cardboard, you cut out the net of a box, you decorate it, you close it up and tape the sides. When she opens it, she gets a present and a net diagram that made her box, and then she keeps it forever on her wall. And even when you're a butthead, she thinks nice things about you.
I don't understand.
Well, I've done that more than once.
Literally understand.
Okay, so we're gonna make nets. We're gonna, thank you, ma'am. We're gonna make.
Oh wait. You can have this color.
Ladies and gentlemen, take your seats. We're gonna make nets, and then we're gonna find the first set here. It says to draw the net and find the lateral area. The lateral area does not include the base. On a rectangular prism, which one is the base? The one that's on the bottom. It helps if you go ahead and shade the bases. You don't have to darken them completely. Shade the bases so you know when you're looking at it, hey, this is the base. I want lateral only, I don't want the base. So we're going to draw a net. And really, the net for any rectangular prism is going to look the same. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to function.
Wait, are we supposed to use our pencil or our card?
Pencil right now.
This is not even blue.
Shh. Then throw it away. I don't know who put it in there, but that's funny.
Why did you draw that? Oh.
So I drew a net. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this net's far from perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be functional. So I deconstructed any rectangular prism. The net will always look like this. The numbers will be different. If I was to draw it to scale, it would be different. I'm not worried about scale. Does that make sense? I just want a functional model. Now, we're going to lay it out. These parts that stick out, they're the base. So because I shaded them over here and I shaded them there, now I know the exact measurements of the base. What are the measurements of the base?
2 and 4.
Oh, we got a problem here. What's the problem right here?
Feet and yards.
Feet and yards. So right away we got to do some conversion, right? How many feet are in a yard?
3.
So 3 times 2 is?
5.
6 feet. So what I'm going to do in my first base is I'm going to put my first number here. And my second here. Oops. My second here.
And your fourth.
So there's 6 and 4, right? You good?
Can we put it on the other side too?
No, you listen. Then I'm going to take and repeat those numbers, 6 and 4, down the sides. Now I have one other number that I haven't used, and what is that?
5.
And I'm going to put that here. That is as hard as it is to make a net. If you identify the bases And remember, my model doesn't have to be to scale. It just has to work for me, right? This model works for me because I can add numbers. Now, what I need, here comes your pencil, what I really need is the lateral area. I need this area that's not the base, right? Just the area that's not the base. That's a terrible color. I need the lateral area, or the area that's not the base. Terrible color choices. Okay? So, let's look at it. What do you notice about that lateral area? What is it?
It's a square.
It's really just one large rectangle. I've already got, so how do I get the area of a rectangle? What? Base times height, and that's little b times h. And in old days, we learned it as length times width, right? I'm not sure why in the state of Texas they decided it had to be base times height. But whoever did it needs to be beaten.
Really, come here, Mr.
So, base times, well, I've already got the base, don't I? Of my big rectangle, there's the base. It's 5. The height. How do I get the height of this rectangle? Add them all up. What's 4 plus 6?
10.
Plus 4?
18, 14.
Plus 6.
20.
So this is 5 times 20. What's 5 times 20? Don't blurt it.
21.
Don't blurt it.
What?
You need to answer, everybody.
On the
Oh, I know.
where it says 2 yards, why'd you change it to 6?
Because the rest are feet.
Everything's in feet.
You don't know.
We have to convert yards to feet.
Oh.
How many foot is in a yard? How many feet?
6.
3. 3 feet in a yard.
Yeah. Okay.
So we converted it so they're all the same. If they're not the same, you've got to make them the same. So what's 5 times 20?
1,000.
No.
20. On 25.
100.
100. So lateral area, or L, equals 100. What's our measurement?
Feet.
Feet squared. Area is always squared.
Oh, back to the square.
Area is always squared.
Easy.
So, area. That's enough. So lateral area is everything but the base. Easiest way I know is draw that net. There are other formulas, and we'll talk about them if you really want to, but they tend to do exactly what we just did, just long ways. So let's draw a net here. What kind of prism do I have?
Rectangle.
Triangular. Here's my bases.
Triangular.
Right? There's my bases, because the bases of a triangular prism are always a triangle. The other conversations need to stop. Francie, go move next to Bryce. So, I'm going to draw myself the net for a triangular prism. Now, here's the truth. My net doesn't have to be good. It just has to be functional. My model is functional. That's your new seat.
You're trying to kill Bryce, aren't you?
No.
Sorry, Bryce.
Araya. Close your mouth and don't talk again. Okay. Now, same thing we did before. Let's look at the base. So, on the base of a triangle, and this is a right triangle, we need the height. Yes?
Why is it not sitting on the base?
Because it doesn't have to.
Because it doesn't go.
Remember, a triangular prism,
It has to sit on the base.
a rectangular prism is the base. Triangular prism, the triangle is always the base. Always the base. So let's give some height. And this is a right triangle. So the height is right here. What's the height on it?
3. 6.
6. And what's the base on it?
8.
8. Okay? Now, I've got those. I just got to put the other 2 links here. So, what?
My drawing is done.
I got that.
Wait, are we supposed to color in the bases?
Not yet. So, the height on this happens to be the same thing as the length. So that's 6. What's the last side of this triangle? We've gone, or what? We've gone 6, 8, and what's the last one? 10. And what is the length or height of this prism? 10.
10 million.
That's way off.
What is the height of the triangle?
Okay, look where we got. Remember, the triangle is always the base, and the other dimension is that connects the triangles is the height. Does that make sense?
About the arrow pointing. What is
That's
the
6. It's the height. It doesn't really matter on this one because you got it. Yeah, it's a right triangle and it's a little rough. So, what do I? This question only asks for the lateral area, right? So I only need the lateral area,
10.
or that area of that big rectangle. So, lateral area,
10.
A equals
10. B, little
BH, right? So, everyone up to this point?
Yes.
No.
Okay, I'll wait.
Oh my gosh, it's so
Little b.
Oh, I had a hiccup. No.
All right. From all the conversations, everyone's up. So, what is the base of this? 10. Times. We need the height, which is all these added together, right?
Wait, do we put times or the equal?
Times. We've got A equals BH. I'm writing the formula. And that equals 10 times whatever H is. 10 plus 8 plus 6.
24.
Thank you.
How did you know that?
Now, without blurting,
I know it.
do 10 times 240.
I know it.
Or 10 times 24. I might have blurted.
You add the zero to the air.
Yeah, I love it. So, it is 240. So, our lateral area equals 240
Centimeters square.
centimeters square. Exactamente, ma'am.
Go, Kaylin.
Okay.
You tell us not to be fired.
Okay,
Keisha. Keisha.
Hooray.
Hi.
Remember, this is being recorded right now.
Oh, this hi.
what?
Where'd they go? Oh, you. All right. Let's talk about 3 and... You guys are wasting your time. Let's talk about 3 and 4. It says, draw the net and find the lateral area and total surface area of the prisms. So we don't just need lateral, we also have to have total now.
Wait, did you color on that one?
Not yet, but I will.
No, the one above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did.
I did around here.
Perimeter.
I usually avoid the perimeter measurement. It seems to cause confusion. We did exactly that method up top. We found the perimeter. We just did it by making a big rectangle.
Rectangular prism.
So, again, rectangular prism. I just need my standard net for a prism. There's my lovely net.
Sorry,
You got your net yet? Draw your net. You got your net drawn?
Yes.
So, when I look at my figure here, I know that it's a rectangular prism, so whatever is on the bottom is my base. There's my bases. I'll come over to my net diagram and color my bases. Yes, I don't do it on triangle. I don't have to. I know the triangle's always the base. I'll put my measurements out here for the base. Is everything in inches?
Yes.
So life's good. So I'm going to put my 5 here and my 4 here. And then I'm just going to repeat those 2 measurements in the same order.
5, 4.
5 and 4.
you do that every time, right?
Every time. That's why this works extremely well, because it just gives you a flat figure.
Yep.
And the last is the height. That's the last measurement I have, which is 9. Does my model have to be to scale?
No.
Does this function? In fact, it'll function amazingly well if you do it every time because you'll just get used to drawing it and it'll pop up. So first we need lateral area. We need our lateral area first. So first we need our lateral area. And that equals, how do we find the area of this rectangle? What's the formula?
A equals little bh.
Little bh. So what's little b?
9.
H is 4 plus 5
9.
plus 4
9.
13.
plus 5.
18.
18. So 9 times 18. That's our lateral.
Wait, I thought it was A. Why are you doing L?
It's the same thing.
Oh, that's
Sorry, it just stands for lateral area.
That chair is really annoying.
Are you happier?
162.
I can't afford a better one.
162.
So those of you who blurted it already rudely,
So,
162 inches squared.
You could just use one of those
I said 1 minute.
Now, to that, we need the area of the base, the big B. And that is these two little things right here. How many of these rectangles do we have?
2.
2. So it's 2 times base times height. Because this is one of them, right? If we find the area of this, we can just multiply it by 2 and get the full answer.
Times 9.
So it's 2 times what's B of this of the base?
5.
5 times
4.
4.
4.
So 2 times 5 times 4.
40.
Don't blurt.
Don't.
I like this better.
Everyone has to
Last year I
remember
tried to
for
teach
me.
the long
It's
formula
40.
and it just confuses people.
Yeah.
So we've already had some lovely people tell us the answer is 40 inches squared. Now total surface area. Total surface area is just add them all together. What's 40 plus 162?
182.
That's almost right.
202.
202
Oh,
inches squared.
I'm in that.
If you draw the nets. Now for the homework assignment, you have to draw the nets for the first couple.
Are you kidding me?
They're part of the grade.
Are you kidding
I would never kid you.
I'll take some points
What
off.
the heck, man? Is it if I
I don't really
Yeah, they count as... So,
Oh, okay.
I come to a triangular prism. Where's the base on it?
The triangle.
The triangle. Is it ever anything else?
No. No.
So the triangle. So now I'm going to draw my lovely triangular prism net.
It's not lovely. It's disgusting.
It's functional.
It's disgusting.
My triangular prism net is functional, and that's all it has to be. Ma'am, stop talking. It doesn't have to be anything else. It just has to work.
Just has to be fun.
Have you guys ever watched The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Have you ever seen him work on the whiteboard where he'll just draw stuff?
Yes.
You'll notice he doesn't worry about perfect dimensions. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? You never noticed that? As your dad's probably said that before, huh?
Wait, who are you talking about?
Carly, has your dad said that before?
No.
Okay. So let's label our triangle. Our three sides are right here. Now our base is right there, isn't it?
Yes.
How long is that base?
8 feet.
So that's always the middle one. Then the height of the triangle usually comes from a line, or it always comes from a line that's at a right angle. So I've got a line there that's at a right angle. What is the height of that line?
5.
3.
3.
3 million.
So for my other two sides, I'm just going to go around my triangle. What's this length here?
What length?
This length right here.
5. Oh,
And this length right here.
3.
Come on.
5.
Are you guessing?
6.
9.
It's 5.
It is 5.
Why would I guess?
A pencil right now. And the last thing I'm using is the height of the prism, which is the length that connects the two triangles. And that's 6. At this point, I've got a lovely diagram. I got two bases, they're my triangles, and I've got one big large rectangle. So what's the lateral area? The lateral area equals base times height, right? 6 times, slow down there, 5 plus 5 plus 8.
18.
Slow down.
Wait, I thought it was
It's
supposed to be
common.
Huh?
sense math.
What did you say, sir?
eight.
Lateral area is usually designated with an L.
6 times what?
6 times, we haven't figured it out yet. 5 plus 8 plus 5, what is it?
18.
18. Shh.
Can you screenshot these?
Let's focus.
No, is it yes or no?
What's 6 times 18?
108.
108. So our lateral area, whoops, is 108 inches squared. That was really terrible over there. Now I need to know my B.
Ow.
So my area of the base is always going to be 2 times, right? Because I have 2 bases. So 2 times base. Well, actually, this is a little different. What's the area of a triangle? What's the formula for it?
1/2 BH.
1/2 BH.
1/2
Little BH.
B little BH. 2 times 1/2 times B times H.
Glare and I can't see it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. 6.
So I've got 2 times 1/2. What is B?
9.
What is B? What's the base of the triangle?
8.
8. What's the height of the triangle?
6.
3.
What?
So 2 times 1/2 times 8 times 3.
2 times 1/2, 1, 8, 24.
2 times 1/2 is 1.
It's 24.
So what's 8 times 3?
2 times 1/2.
Is 1.
How? You're adding it together.
No, 2 times 1/2. These are all multiplications. So 2 times 1/2 times 8 times 3. Mary, what'd you get?
Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare.
Carly, do I need to have you move back?
No. She's
Okay, I'm done.
Mary? You're getting there? Okay.
Can I say it? I know it. It's
Now,
4.
I'm going to give you guys a hint. What's 2 times 1/2?
1.
1. And anything times 1 is itself, you can drop it out completely. So all you got to do is 8 times 3.
20, oh, that's 20.
That's 24 inches squared. So our total area equals 108 plus 24.
Oh, I know it.
Don't blurt it.
Whoa.
No, this is Mary's. We already robbed her of the other one.
No, 28.
What does C stand for?
Total area. You also might see it as S equals surface area.
Why don't we just stay on what we were doing?
No.
You got to go there.
We're never to use this though.
132 inches squared. The trick on finding surface area, the trick is draw the net. No matter what the shape is, draw the net. And there are other shapes.
Wait, go back down.
A little respect there, ma'am.
Please go back down.
Okay. You can draw any geometric shape or figure by breaking it down into individual shapes. Are you ready?
Yes.
We are.
So tell me, I'm going to draw a shape here. I'm going to draw me a net.
You draw it too.
Sure.
Why do you call it a net?
That's what it's called.
Oh,
It's
this is
a
a
prism.
pyramid.
It's a rectangular pyramid. If you folded all these 4 corners up, you'd get a point.
Can we do origami?
It is kind of origami.
Ooh, I want to do origami.
Hey,
We should make origami.
think about it. That is a neat gift box, y'all.
No, we should make
Because you can make a pyramid gift box out of a piece of cardboard.
It's so easy. I've done it before.
And it looks neat.
Have you ever made a balloon? No, you blow it up.
Never
It's so much fun.
Fellas.
All right.